Still says it's preparing.
Airing.
And
We never know if it's going live. It says it's recording. So hello, everyone.
good
Hi.
morning.
Hello. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Cheers.
I think we are live. Here, that'll just cement it. There we go. I believe we're live now. So good
We're
morning.
live.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How was your extra long weekend? We
Well,
had
my extra long weekend was extra good. Oh,
extra good. Yes, we took an extra day for ourselves to. I don't know whether
yes.
it wasn't so much a recoup. I mean, 20 years ago might have been a recouping day, but it was
Oh,
just
remember
a day
those
to
days? Those were the good old days.
just a day to. I don't know. I think we deserved it. I think we deserved an extra day, and that's what we both did. So that was amazing.
Oh, I'm trying
Oh,
to go into my Zoom here, and I'm going to watch a watch party.
oh, for us, yes, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Oh, remember those days? Those
I can hear me. That's so weird.
So I know, right? So I'm going to try and share. Just give me a second here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to my, there. Gets a little confusing if it's the same picture from your business page to your personal page. That always gets a little
Yeah,
crazy.
that's why I make the avatar on the business page.
Okay, well, this is the great thing about modern technology of working within the Wi-Fi, right?
And something that changes on a daily basis that really
Oh,
keeps us on our toes.
it sure does. It sure does. And memory on phones, that always keeps you in check too. Those
Oh my.
beautiful, beautiful videos and recordings that you do, and then boom, it doesn't record.
No,
There's no
that's it.
memory on
You're
your phone.
done. They
That's
cut
it.
you off.
So, Wendy, you had a great weekend.
Yes. Had my daughter come visit, and we had her partner come and visit as well. And it was, although it was a bit windy and cool, they got a chance to get out of the city and just sit in the backyard. We didn't do any visiting, obviously, and we didn't even venture out into the parks or anything, for a bit of a sad reason, which actually that was weighing heavy on my heart. But I don't know if it's something that I can talk about without crying. So I don't know.
Well, then we won't. And I'm sorry I didn't honor that yesterday
No,
when
no,
you were
and I
helping
don't think
me.
about it. When I don't think about it, it's perfectly fine. I mean, her partner is Polynesian, and he didn't feel like he would feel comfortable, not necessarily safe, but he just wouldn't feel comfortable going out into the community for fear of discrimination.
That's unfortunate.
It is. In the big city, I think he's kind of. I mean, it's a melting pot in Toronto, but I don't know if I'm totally naive about it. My daughter really talks to me a lot about the white privilege class, but I guess I'm in my rose-colored bubble because I don't see a lot of it specifically. But I mean, I have heard of incidences in North Bay where an Asian doctor was actually harassed and really he did a little blurb on the news and whatnot with regards to the COVID and different things like that. But yeah, it kind of hit me a little hard. I don't know.
There's actually a large Polynesian population here in Sudbury as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's unfortunate that people would feel that way. I would think that we're pretty good here in Sudbury. Maybe not in Chelmsford. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I
But I
don't
mean,
know. I don't
there's
know. Like I
actually
said, I live in a bubble.
there's a really actually right quite a large there we have quite a few cultures here. You would actually be very surprised at the amount of cultures that of course, because we have the university here, but how many multinational communities that my husband's texting me, he forgot his coffee that I made him at the door. Poor kid. He's in Lake Panache today, so I will not be delivering that coffee. Anyways, yeah, it's a huge, massive community. You would be surprised. I'm always surprised. And then even at our church, we have a very large group of people from all over the world. Like, it's incredible. I love it. I love it. I think it's fast. I love it. I think it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter moved to Toronto. Goodness, it was a while ago now. But I think she still thinks that we're in that time frame. And she says, wow, there's not a lot of, she calls it POC, people of color in our area, but there are.
Oh my gracious.
She gets,
he needs to get out of her bubble.
Guilty for her privilege. I don't know. And yeah. I don't know. It hit me kind of hard anyway.
White or not privileged.
It was a beautiful weekend to have her visit and everything else.
I don't find the white privileged in Toronto. I mean, if you're a white male and living in Toronto, there's no jobs. Unless you're really super highly educated, there are no jobs.
Yeah. And she exclusively doesn't date them either. She just feels that white privileged males are, she actually discriminates against them, apparently.
I was going to say that. Yeah. That's kind of like...
My son and I have had this discussion because apparently my son is a white privileged male. And it's just like, okay. I don't know. I like, again, I'm like, maybe I sit in my own little bubble. I don't know. But my naivety sometimes kind of slaps me in the face, and it's usually from her hand. And yeah,
that's all right.
It kind of really upset me that he felt that way anyways, because I mean, he's part of the family now, and although they haven't been together a long time, they are kind of talking the M word a little bit. So
a union.
As soon as my daughter takes somebody into her life, that person is my family. It doesn't matter. Unfortunately, then, she gets mad at me. She's like, stop talking to them, Mom. I'm not with them anymore. I'm like, okay. But
I can't keep up. I can't keep up. Yeah, exactly. I'm not allowed to be friends with my kids' friends. Yeah. So just like, okay, fine. I can't help that I'm a cool mom. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Everybody loves me. No, anyways, but yeah, that kind of... So we just made the best of it. We ordered pizza. Oh my goodness, I did such a big doo-doo. We ordered pizza. Had this really wonderful Indian gentleman, bring the pizza to the house and everything else. And of course, I went out with my debit card, and I have to get my pizza outside because the dogs are just like crazy in the house. Didn't have my glasses on. Tipped him $317 and went on my merry way. And he was so kind that he came back and said, I think you made a mistake here, Mrs. And I was like, okay, let me put my glasses on and get to that.
And they were embarrassed.
So I felt like such an idiot, and he, everything got fixed up, no problem. But oh my
You're
goodness.
so lucky that he did that.
Yeah. Big lesson. Gotta put my glasses on. A little bit of vanity there would have cost me a lot of money. So it was, it was a quiet but interesting weekend for sure. Oh boy. And you had a nice quiet weekend at the lake.
It was lots of stuff. Well, there was lots of work to do. It was good. I mean, I was surprised when Mother Nature showed up for me Saturday morning, I guess, with a vengeance. And all of those who are in menopause will understand that vengeance and came out of the blue. I really, oh, well, I mean, if you look back at the side effects, sure. Was I a little moody and emotional?
Yeah. It
Maybe.
was not a surprise to everybody else.
True. Kudos.
But we still love you, and it's all part of the process. So
Oh, bless her heart is what we're going to have to start saying. Oh, bless her heart.
it's that menopause thing. Just let her storm through. She'll burn out
Oh,
in a
there should
couple
be a
of days.
little badge that we wear, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm like so thankful I don't have hot flashes, but ooh, the other side effects. Hello, sister. The anyways, and my husband was like, okay. And I don't think he understands, like exactly understands.
No.
And so he's like, yeah, okay, so get on the quad, let's go. We're going quadding. So I'm like, okay. I just anyways, you just bleed through
Yeah. You
everything.
don't
Carry
get too
on.
graphic.
What the hell, right? What the hell?
Yeah.
So it was good. I told that to my other friend. She's like, oh, I don't know how you do that. I can't even move. I'm like, you just do it. You don't have a husband that guilts you with the look.
How dare you be a woman? My goodness.
Dare you not keep up.
Yeah.
Anyways, how come you can't pick 200 pounds of that deck up? Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
But it was good. I'm glad I did because we forged through and made a few new trails, and we got some things moved around, and then boom, the bugs came out.
Oh, just yeah, that's wonderful, isn't it? Haven't quite got them to that extent here yet. But I know it's coming. I know it's coming. We actually put a fire on, which is kind of rare at my house. My son and my daughter wanted a fire, which was great. So we put a fire on, and yeah, and then they went to bed. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I am so honestly so thankful that I remember I was, you go through and I'm sorting through things and looking through things and looking through the little first aid kits that we have and making sure there's nothing too expired.
Yeah.
Right, like the Benadryl, I will, if it says 2019, I'll be like, I think we're okay. But if
Yeah.
it says 2016,
Yeah, or 2005.
yeah, there's a timeline.
Yeah.
I'm like, just drink more of it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then I found my oils that I had left. I had some Deep Blue and I had some Terrasheild, and I got to get more of that.
Terrasheild, yeah.
Terrasheild, and then from Amber, she has from Pure Romance, she has this little miracle oil, which is a great little thing. It just has like tea tree and some jojoba and different oils, so it's really nice for rashes or sunburn or things like that. So I just like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I that's at the cottage. But then I'm yeah, you have to make, I go through my container, like I know that we had kind of talked about that, and I go through and I'm like, why the hell am I keeping all these empty jars? And I'm like, oh, it's because I don't have them anymore. You try and keep, you look at everything. But yeah, and we were talking about that this morning. Like, do you use essential oils as part of your protocols with your clients?
Actually, no.
Really?
But this is something that I just haven't taken the time at this point to dive into, but I am very much an essential oil person. And I have like 3 boxes just sitting in front of me.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's what
It
you
was
said.
just
So
a bit of an obsession.
I find with my clients, I'm always and I think that's my problem with network marketing. I love the products, except I'm not a pusher. I
Yeah.
can't push. And
Yeah.
maybe that's just an issue. People are going to push and they excel and they do really, really well, but I'm not a pusher. I know lots of people, but I can't be persistent pusher because I don't know. It's a limiting belief I have, I guess. But so about 5 years ago, I guess it's almost 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago now, I was really doing well with doTerra. And actually learned quite a bit from my mentor, Kathy Wallachs, and it's so amazing. So I use it with my clients.
Oh, that's
I'll
nice.
ask them what they have at home,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I may say, these are something to consider. What company do you use? I'm not I'm not partial to certain things. I do love the OnGuard more than the Thieves, whereas I know you like the Thieves more than the
I
OnGuard.
do. I like the
Yeah.
thieves better, but I don't use Young Living too much.
So
It would be so
they
gross.
have some really great unique blends like the Angelica or the more traditional oils the Young Living does, and the doTerra. I really, maybe I'm just brainwashed like that, but I can trust them for the edible portion of things,
Yeah.
the
I
internal,
like I
or
like the
using it.
back end of things,
Yeah.
yeah, with them.
So it's kind of cool. The marketing was fantastic. And so I'm not partial. I mean, I know that Melaleuca has oils now, and Vimeo has oils, and oh
I
my
haven't
gosh,
even heard of that one.
Josh Axe, that's Karen Giza. Karen Giza's
Oh,
company
yes, yes,
does.
yes. Yes.
Um, and big plug for Karen Giza. The Josh Axe has his own essential oil
Oh,
line. Like, it's
really?
just like whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
this
some people will say, no, you're not supposed to be using essential oils, period. The traditional
really.
aromatherapists, um, nothing for internal, and all these different things. But I love them. I will advise them on to do their research always, and to understand and what the body's being called for. Like, I think that's just incredible. Lavender, no matter what company, can be applied topically or aromatically, right? And that's a
Yeah.
really great opportunity for one soothing, calming, and sleep,
Yep. Yeah,
right?
lavender is one of the good ones like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I did find, oh, so thankful, I had some Digest Zen, which is now called Zengest,
Oh, okay.
for doTERRA at the cottage as well. So there were a couple of mornings I was like, ooh, I need some of that for my belly. But
Mm.
so no, it's good. I mean, I talk about, of course, using the oils on the tummy, perhaps using them with castor oil. If they have, I think people have like the kits, or they've purchased a whole bunch of things and they don't remember what they're for.
Well,
So,
that's a big thing, yeah,
yeah,
and that's where I lie in that kind of framework because I do have a lot
yeah.
too. And we were just talking about hormones just earlier. There's that one Clary Calm, which is
The Claricon,
amazing
which is the
for,
roller, which is incredible.
yeah,
And then you
for
roll that onto the abdomen or the
yeah.
uterus area. You can use it as a perfume. There's many different things.
Hmm.
Some people like just even using clary sage um, to use that. Some people like just ling-a-lang. I love that, ling-a-ling.
Like
I'll,
that too, yeah.
sometimes, well, because it's essential oils, it's not really a fragrance, but it is a fragrance. It's kind of a catch-22, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a
It's the
medicinal
purest
fragrance.
form, but
Yeah.
people still react to it. So I had it on one night at a church event, which I probably shouldn't have. And I had the ling-a-lang on, or the woman's blend. The woman's blend I love, and I need
Oh,
more
from
from doTERRA.
doTerra, the woman's blend. Oh yeah, the Whisper.
It's the
Yeah.
Whisper. It
Oh, I know that's
is
one of my favorites.
phenomenal,
Yeah,
phenomenal,
the
phenomenal.
soft, whispery kind
But I
of.
had it on, and I love that one in particular because people will smell what they need to smell,
Yeah.
whether it's the sandalwood or whether it's the ling-a-lang or whether it's the patchouli. They'll pick out whatever. And I had a large group of women come up and say, "Oh, I can smell that ling-a-lang." I'm like, "It's because you need the ling-a-lang, baby."
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. And they say that if you have an aversion to it, the smell, is that what you need it more, or is it that you need it less?
It depends. If it's a fine line. You have
Hmm.
to read into the emotional component of things, or you have to read into what those things are. It can probably be your biggest chronic issue.
Really?
So one can say no, that you don't need it altogether. But that's why the smelling of them plays a role in identifying which oils may be the best for you, right?
Interesting.
And so there's one belief to the other belief. The ones that maybe repel you the most are the ones that you need the most in one thought of,
Mm-hmm.
because it's your chronic thing, but your body is not prepared yet to release it,
Okay.
right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your body's not prepared yet. So that's why you always kind of go back. You do a small little protocol, or you go through your little roller balls that you made, and you may smell things again. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where that muscle testing comes into
Oh,
play.
yes.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
have any oils with me today. Sorry, wasn't prepared. Um, where you will take it and you hold it, and then you may ask yourself, "Is this what I need?" There's different ways of doing that. You may say, you may just go like this and ground yourself, or just to say, "Hi, my name is Dana," so that you have that neutral recognition. And then you say, "Do I need this?" And then you may pick it up and you'll say, "Do I need this?" And
Mm-hmm.
some people may go like this, and some people may go like this, right? So the belief is that when you're like this, it is something that your body's craving, it's needing, it's being drawn into it. The repulsion would be that it doesn't need it for today, but that's just some fun muscle kinesiology stuff.
I find that so amazing. I've tried to dive into the whole muscle testing thing because I do uh, like to have that extra confirmation with regards to supplements and different things that I offer for people, but definitely for oils, it's an amazing thing too. I know I've caught myself in the store holding on to things, and store owners are kind of looking at me, and I'm kind of swaying back and forth trying to figure out whether I need something or not. And
Yeah, it is. I just find it so fascinating and
mm-hmm.
so amazing, right?
Yeah.
Um, in all of these, because it's you've got them. You've had
Mm-hmm.
so many incredible people all over Sudbury or Ontario or wherever in the world that really truly. And Angie Angela, she's in New Sudbury, she's doing a phenomenal job. She's like pumping it out hard. She's doing a great job. And Meredith Teller here at the South End here is also doing just a phenomenal job at their doTerra businesses, which I'm just like kudos about. I did
Yeah.
a podcast with Meredith,
Nice.
and about her journey and her story.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has been phenomenal. Megan Cunningham, doesn't build the business, she just provides the oils as well, so they're out there, so use them.
Yes. Yes.
Use
Very much
them,
so. Yeah.
it's a great way to get kids taking care of themselves. It's a great way to address things, especially if you haven't had the opportunity or haven't had change in your health, or the things that you've tried traditionally aren't working.
And it's just an adjunct. I mean, we use this all. It's not an alternative. It's not something to use exclusively by itself. It's something to just add to a tool. It's one of the tools. It's one of the tools we use in our toolbox
Exactly.
for so many things. I mean, I know the hardcore aromatherapists out there are just like, well, but I mean, from my perspective, I'm still of the frame of mind that it's just one of the tools that we use as a combination of a lot of tools in our alternative toolbox. And like I said, if you're faithful to it, if you're, consistent with it too, and you have that deep faith in it too. And this is, like I said, again, with the hardcore aromatherapists, they can work some amazing things. I know when we used to do, what was it called? The Restore and Heal yoga sessions up at Two Souls Yoga, I would go around with oils, and that would be part of the group of things that we were doing during this yoga class. It was restorative yoga poses, which is an
Mm-hmm.
amazing, amazing tool. Energy work and light massage, and the oils. We were doing like this big combination of tools again, during an hour and a half or almost 2 hours of the session. And it was so many people. Like, I mean, as soon as we opened up this class, it was full of people. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
even just bringing the tools of the oils around, it really does make a difference with regards to stress relief. And especially because I was being very specific about the oils that we were bringing around. And yeah, and it's amazing because I have been to a different few oil sessions with people. Wendy Martin, she's a pretty, you know, semi-celebrity kind of yoga teacher out of Huntsville. And she came up and started oils with another girlfriend and myself. And we had maybe 20 people at this workshop, and we had people that would be like, we'd pass the oils around, and so many different reactions to these different oils.
Yep.
And some people actually got nauseous from it too. And it was just, it was really interesting, the reaction, and people like had to go out and get, you know, clear their head and whatnot. But
It's true. Yeah,
yeah,
it's so true.
the
Um,
physical.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, it was really really amazing, and I just love them. Like I usually, you know, 4 out of 7 days a week, I'll have some sort of diffuser going. I've got different ones for different times of the year, and if I don't write them down, I never remember. But there's some really amazing little concoctions that you can come, and you can find so many of them on YouTube or Pinterest or all these different things, all the different 6 drops of this, 2 drops of that, to put them all together for different smells and
No, exactly,
atmosphere.
exactly. I used them a lot when the kids were still at home here, and whether it was helping Jaden with her reactions when we were trying to figure out her food sensitivities. So
Mhm.
rubbing oils on her feet and rubbing digestin on her belly because she was having such severe reactions to milk and to gluten without us realizing it,
Mhm.
and trying to, overcome or trying to help. And then Jaina would be having a fit here, or girls are. Anyways, I would be like, there's no stopping, and I can't laugh at that. I would By this time I'd be laughing at them. I'd be like, yeah, whatever, pull yourself together, and
Get
they don't.
over it.
And I remember I'd be like grabbing the lavender and just like dousing them with it. She'd get it in her mouth, and she'd be like, "Get those effing oils out of here, blah blah blah. Get them out of here, right?" And but it got in her mouth, and then finally she calmed down. She goes, "Damn you, Mom. Damn you in those oils," right? So, but it's fascinating. And even James, I mean, now that I use them in like the wild orange, or I use orange, or I use the tea tree, or the Melaleuca in the cleaning water, he really appreciates that smell much better than Lysol,
Yes. My husband,
right?
not so much. If I leave him on his own for a little while, it out comes the
Out comes the bleach.
well, not so much the bleach, because bleach, okay, bleach is, I have an aversion to bleach. Like it
Do
really kind of
you?
makes me nauseous. No, gives me a bad headache right away.
Yeah.
But what's the other one? Febreze.
Oh
And,
my
and my
gosh.
good gosh, and he'll go through almost like half a bottle on the
Really?
furniture. It was like, oh,
Because of the dog
oh,
smell.
yeah,
I may have to, I mean, I'm going to try and figure out how to make a homemade Febreze. I think it's just vinegar, maybe some baking soda and an essential oil or something, because the wet dog smell.
yeah, yeah,
And I think that's great. I mean, Megan has been, and Diana Johnson, who's a young living rep from out of Peterborough. I've done a breast health seminar with her when I go down to Peterborough. She has some of the greatest recipes in there that I really appreciate, and that's been phenomenal. Like your own deodorant with your essential oils. And then using all your cleaning supplies, all your detergent, all of your sorry, put you here. Cleaning supplies, window cleaning, you name it. Everything can be
yeah.
done naturally with like vinegar, and then now they have cleaning vinegar on the shelves now, which is great, which is the higher percentage of acid.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was
And
gonna say it's the same thing with just a higher
no,
price.
it's
No.
actually a higher acidity to it. That's why.
Okay.
It's same as the pickling vinegar. Pickling vinegar has
Oh,
a
yeah,
different
yeah.
acidity to it as well. But and then the other thing I find so fascinating with it as well, why I probably will be venturing into either way, either space, is the healing oils component in the different seminars. So Michelle Roy, who we met up north in Hillberry, big plug for Michelle, she and her team that kind of is all over Northern Ontario with Young Living, the she does the healing oils of the scriptures, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
does a lot of emotional work with
Mm-hmm.
um, with the different oils. And then she also, and many people have the Itovi. I love the Itovi. So the Itovi, if you don't know what that is the handheld unit. You in a it's a biomeridian tool that checks the pelvic and galvanic pressures and blah 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 on the skin, and it balances you to what oils balance you out. And
Interesting.
yeah, and I love it. So of course, um, it was, and I had done it before with another woman in Peterborough, right? So it came up before with Genius, which is a high brain one,
Okay.
and frankincense. This time it came up with copaya
Okay.
and frankincense, and then lemon myrtle,
Okay.
right? So as you know, I have a difficulty with my free radicals,
Yes.
right? And I have some damage to the back of my eye. And then I'm always, if you know, because Deanna had brain cancer, I'm always thinking about that too. So when you look at the emotional aspect, or even just look at copaya and frankincense, that fits the bill for all of those things, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so she made me a roller blend that day, and then by the end of the day I just bought the 2 bottles anyways. And I'm out now, so I've got to get more. And then the lemon myrtle, funny, and that was funny because it's even before this whole COVID thing, was for lung.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so she didn't have any lemon myrtle, so I just kind of used eucalyptus and a little bit of lemon because I had those both here.
Okay.
And but that's what it was for. It was for the lungs. So the lungs can be part of that, of course, lung difficulty, which I find I'm short of breath, which probably because I'm just out of shape, but that's sort of a chronic thing. I'll actually go into an asthma attack if I'm overexerting myself or like lifting too heavy of things.
Oh,
When I
really?
was doing CrossFit a few years ago, I would also start hyperventilating. So I don't know whether that's from smoking my face off as a teenager and a young adult, and that could be damage
Might.
that's there.
Yeah.
But it also represents grief. The lung, when you're having difficulty with the lung,
Oh, yeah.
that is a grieving grief that is being held there as well. And we see that in thermography all the time. So I thought it was super reflective, very
Hmm.
insightful in the things that I needed to work on, the different areas of my life and nutrition. So yeah,
Nice.
I
Yeah,
find that
and I
so
like how it,
fascinating.
yeah, I like how it all kind of conjoins together. It's like we are not just one part of our body. So why would we have just one kind of tool? Again, like getting back to the all of the tools that we use, and aromatherapy is just one of those amazing tools that are just, yeah, I love it. And I mean, it goes, I mean, I think most people just kind of look at it and go, oh, well, this one smells pretty, this one smells pretty, it'll make my house smell really nice. But it is an actual therapeutic tool. Like, I mean, there is healing properties with it. There is these protocols. There's all these different things that aromatherapists that really can dive deep into it. And it is something that can be used as an adjunct to
Yep.
therapeutic protocols from our perspective as well. So we have supplements, lifestyle changes. We could throw in aromatherapy. I'm not a physical fitness professional by any means, but as a yoga teacher, throwing in yoga moves or different things like this is an amazing thing. I'm pretty much skilled or trained in
Mm-hmm.
pranayama, breath work, different things like this. So these are all just, again, all that when we talk about lifestyle changes, this is what we talk about. This is, it's not just food. It's not just here's a meal plan and I'll see you in a month. It's all these different things that we have to offer through holistic means, and that's why I love this stuff so much.
No, and it's fantastic. I love that. So on my phone, I have all this stuff available, and I have it for use. I have it handy because when I'm talking to women during their appointments, I'm always saying, what are the great tools that I always leave people with? One, dry brushing, and two,
Yeah.
lymphatic massage. So
Yeah.
I demonstrate both of them, and then I ask, what oils do you have at home? It doesn't matter to me what you have. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not partial, although everyone will arm wrestle over that. But and as long as you have them, use them and use them properly. If it
Yeah.
says internal, that's okay. If it doesn't say that, then don't. If
Yeah.
it only says aromatic, don't apply it to the skin. But then if you're diffusing it, it's going to land on the skin anyways. Catch 22. Anyways, I have this beautiful little reference guide for essential oil. I don't know if you can see that because of the glare.
Oh yes,
Um,
no, but
so it has the guide, it has the oils, it has the blends, and it was just something that Diana had gifted me. Um, and so it's just a handy thing. It's not the be all and end all for sure, but it allows you to just say, okay, well, let's see, let's look and see what nature intended that to be.
mhm.
Right. And that's what the beautiful thing is about it. And just the ability to reach out and say, wow, I didn't know that the arbor vitae, which is the red cedar wood, was great
Yes.
for, yeast infections or for stability or for
Mhm.
different things, right? And it was interesting. I had first done a Zyto scan. I used to use the Zyto at work, and I had that programmed with doTerra, that the arbor vitae had come up. Well, that would be one, either a yeast infection, or two, I needed to be grounded, I needed to stand firm, I needed to be bigger than life, right? In
Okay.
that emotional component of things. So I love how even the emotion training with either company is neutral, so you can apply it in that aspect, and I love how that works. And the new book from doTerra is phenomenal,
Oh, I haven't
and
seen it yet.
and uh, and then but it depends. It's who you resonate with the best, right? And
Yeah.
I found that um, the foundation for myself, a faith foundation, when I'm building business with people, is too important with me. And I really, really resonated with um, Leroy, really resonated with her. And we got to pray, and we got to talk about God, and we got to talk about how she uses essential oils in part of her protocols, but she
Yes.
keeps it God faith based.
Mhm.
Now, if that's not to say that if you are Reiki or Buddhist or Hindi, whatever you believe in, those essential oils are there to balance out your chakras as well. If that's what you believe, then I so encourage you to do that as well. Go through the chakra understanding, and go through those oils and go through that different protocol to see if that's going to help pull your shit together, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all out like that. And here I am. Maybe yesterday I should have been like dousing myself with oils yesterday. And I never even thought of that. I should have breathed in some lavender. I should have got my balance out. And I should have just calmed myself. I did put on copaya yesterday. Great stuff. And I know I'm not saying it right, but great stuff. I mean, if it's interesting, rather than swilling back that shot of whiskey to calm your nerves, it might be better to pull out that balance or the
Yeah.
lavender. And
Yeah.
I honestly am so thankful that we're talking about it today, because that wasn't even in part of my wave thought process.
No, mine either.
Not even
That's
close.
odd because I mean I sit in
Not that
front
I
of
did.
my computer here and I've got
Yeah.
like six different usually in front of
Not
me.
that I did any shots of whiskey. I was close. Perhaps I
Oh, I
should
mean
have.
I've done. I mean when you get to that heightened state of just like, oh, you don't know what to do, and there's nowhere to turn, and first thing, our first thought is to just like, because a shot of whiskey,
Medicate,
we
medicate,
see it
medicate.
on the TV, we've seen it as kids growing up. You watch any kind of cowboy show or you watch any kind of cops and robbers, whatever, that's their go-to. It's not like, okay, let's pull out the lavender to feel a little bit better. Well, that's not the way people think usually. So this is where our brains don't go there first.
They
But
always had the crystal decanter beside the couch
yeah,
that they
yeah,
would always just rip open them. Poor Dallas was famous for that.
Dallas.
The crystal decanter,
Yeah,
and just pour themselves a shot of whatever the hell was in there, probably
everything.
bourbon,
Yeah,
and they just swill her back with a It was
Alice?
interesting. Like what a, I mean, that's not, I mean, that's okay if that's what it needs and that's what you do and that's perfect. And why don't I do that more often? I've got a nice crystal one here, but,
But
and then,
because it's
yeah,
yeah, it's not
it's bad for
necessarily
you.
along aligned
Thus,
with us.
thus brings in the lead theory if it's lead
Crystal,
crystal.
yeah.
Dun, dun,
I went
dun.
I went through that whole madman phase too, because I love that era and everything else too. But I mean, good Lord, those people drank in that show to like, and I don't know if that's like based on real stuff or whether that's just for the TV show or whatever.
Probably just for, there was no, probably
I
no
can't
alcohol in
imagine
it.
how people survived drinking that much all the time. Like they would drink during the day for lunch and you know come back and then have a few more drinks and then they'd get home and the first thing they do as opposed to even just putting their keys down would grab that crystal decanter full of whiskey or whatever and have two or three
I
shots.
don't know. Perhaps it's because their body wasn't as burdened so much. I mean, that's a good theory. Their body wasn't burdened so much with so many chemicals and so many, because you didn't have, back in those days, you didn't, I mean, if you used fabric softener, maybe, but you didn't have all these different, like the bounce sheets, you have the bounce pebbles or whatever those things are, those additives. You can, I mean, when I'm walking the dog, you can smell who uses what fabric
Yeah,
detergents
you
or
know they're doing
anything.
laundry today.
Oh, someone's doing laundry, and I'm just like, and I think just the, maybe it's the overburden of the pollution, of the toxins, of the chemicals that we use and the fragrances that we use that's overburdened our livers. I see that in thermography for sure, right? And whether they had that the same way, because they would smoke and drink. My grandpa would smoke and drink,
Yeah,
and he worked in the mines and he worked in the rail yard,
yeah,
and he didn't have many issues. All of his brothers and sisters, they were probably a little obese, but they all lived into their late 80s and 90s. So it sometimes it doesn't make sense. I know it's good genetics, it's whatever, but they literally smoked and they drank every day, and
yeah. They probably had wives though that were making them home cooked meals. Like you said, their
well,
clothes
that,
were washed and put on the lines.
yep.
You know, the stress levels were a little bit different back then as well. We
I no,
weren't
I don't.
bombarded
No,
with the
no.
EMFs
Well,
all the
not bombarded with
time.
EMFs, but you can't say that depression wasn't. One income household weren't, and that you had very, you know, the income was different, life was different, so they still had stress.
Oh yeah, they had stress for sure. I'm not saying that, but they also had a lot more means unconsciously to de-stress as well. So I mean, I don't know. We have this extra stress with the EMFs, the computers, the TVs. I mean, when back in the 70s, I remember, well, we only had two channels. We weren't going to be stressing about what we're watching. It was either hockey or nothing, you
Yeah,
know? So
the
if you
phone
didn't
was on
like
the wall.
hockey, you went to bed.
Yeah, the
We
phone was on
had,
the wall, and that, or
yeah,
you had a, you know, when I was a kid, we had a party line, so we had
yeah,
party lines, right? So but and you were outside. There
yeah.
was no
Every
video
night,
games,
every
and
night till the lights came on, and that was it. You know, and we don't do a lot of that now. Yeah, yeah.
no, it's good. I think I might. It's funny. I put it away. I had it in the bathroom, and then I wasn't using it, and it was kind of hogging up all the space on the little counter. And I was like, oh, I got to pull that out again. So perhaps I'll make a shelf, pull up one of my shelves today, and put it up.
For
So
your,
my oils.
oh, your oils. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. What a good reminder today.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I actually, like I said, I pulled out all my oils and my books and different things, and I think I'm going to start. I do have usually two diffusers going on all through this COVID thing I've had.
Mine is at Mine's at work because I took it to work with the
My,
OnGuard in it or Thieves
Young
in it,
Guard, yeah, yeah.
and to diffuse in between clients. And I was there a few months ago to pick up my things, and I forgot it. And
Oh,
the kids broke my other one, so I probably should get another diffuser. So,
yeah. Yeah, I usually have two going on. I mean, I've got two dogs in the house too and a cat. So
you have to be
sometimes the house
careful with
doesn't
animals.
smell.
Well,
Yes, you do very have to
you
be
have to be
careful.
really careful with what oils you have with that. I always wonder if that's what I did to the cat, because she's has this blindness, or
Oh,
I don't know
goodness.
whether she's nearsighted or farsighted. I don't know. We thought
Mm,
she was blind. She can make her way outside like no man. She can make every step. She's pretty clear.
nice.
But inside here, she runs into walls and she can
Oh,
see shadows and things like that. But so I'm
mm,
wondering if I diffused the wrong oil too much, and didn't that
yeah. There's lots of
interesting?
lists if you Google it, what is good for animals. I don't have it right in front of me right now.
No, no.
I know my baby dog, he's 2.5 or so now. He has an anxiety problem, and I don't understand why. He
Hmm.
was, we got him as a puppy. He's never been mistreated. I mean, these animals are, treated better than people around here. Um, but he has a severe anxiety problem, and so I've tried to use lavender with him a little bit,
Hmm.
but he doesn't like it. He doesn't like the fact that I come with him. He knows I'm coming at him with the lavender. But
Some people will pick a couple of oils, like so. Lori Harris, who did the Pampered Chef for me
yes.
a couple weeks ago, she is with Pet Save, so she'll travel up to wherever to rescue dogs and do that kind of stuff. So she knows a lot about animal care with the essential oils too. So she was
Okay.
really doing a great job with that, and her dogs did really well. And she would she would know which ones, and then you could ask the dog. Horses really respond to essential oils.
Oh,
They'll nudge
interesting.
you to which one that they want. If you got one in each hand, they'll really
Oh,
nudge you towards
I
which one
did
they're
not
needing.
know that.
Yeah, it's interesting what people will do for their animals, but not for themselves.
Ooh,
Very interesting.
that's a
Turmeric.
whole other
Yeah,
topic.
turmeric. What do you mean? Turmeric. I give that to my dog for her joints. I'm like,
Yeah.
why do you not give that to yourself for your joints? Oh, I never thought of it. You're right. Maybe
Yeah,
I
because
should.
we can take turmeric in.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a problem. Interesting, interesting. So maybe we should
Hmm.
shut it down there for today before we get into a whole nother topic,
Woo!
because
Animal topics.
another one that I really like is Bach flowers for animals. So but like I said, that's
Nice. Do you do
another.
Bach therapies, or you just know about them and
No, but I just know about them, and that's another one of my like, I'm really kind of interested in that too. But I do so many different things that are kind of like on the edge of, should I go in this direction? Should I not go in this direction? How much do I want to, invest in
yeah?
this therapies or trainings or whatever? But I find so many different things.
I know
Traditional
the
Chinese medicine is one of
naturopaths.
the big ones, but
Yeah, the naturopaths use the Bach remedies quite
yeah,
often, and I know that those are just phenomenal,
yeah,
phenomenal. The so the next phase, so phase one's kind of launched yesterday, so we'll see how that all rolls out, right? Like James is back to work full time, so
yes,
he's not quarantined anymore. Um, in that aspect of things, right? And even going out in the world, just I got my sanitizer, so I spray my hands after I'm done things and spray my steering wheel because I
yeah,
forget, because I had to pick up my car at the shop, and thank you for driving me. The so we'll see how this all rolls out, right? And then I guess phase two is supposed to be launched about June 8th, and then not really saying what's going on, but I know that Kim at Active Therapy, I know that a few of our clinics that I do imaging at, like in North Bay, are all getting ready with their COVID plan for reopening. So I know that I need to get back into action because I so miss it. So getting in there to do imaging for everyone who wants the thermal imaging, the thermography done, and it'll all have to be timed. It may have to be designated days. There needs to be, coming in, coming out procedures. So they'll, be kind and patient with everyone that's going to be getting in there again.
yeah,
Um, Life will certainly be different, and the whole aspect of business is going to be very different. Um, I'm sure. And then getting in there, and I'm just so excited to get back to using. I've had a few phone calls for the foot detox, which will
nice,
be great to use. And I'm very excited about the Sequex, the microcirculation.
yeah. I am actually in contact with a couple of my people as well. So going to be offering the live blood analysis at the Chelmsford Naturally Yours health food store, but
Mm-hmm.
just, trying to connect with Kim there to see when and if and everything else, because like, again, I've had a few people wanting to really dive into that as well, to see where they're at, and, trying to get as
I mean,
healthy as possible. I mean, that's the
mm-hmm.
whole theme of this year, I believe it is, either through
Everyone's
these wonderful
intention.
power gardens and growing our
Yeah.
own fruits and vegetables, to really diving into thermography, the live blood analysis, and all these different things. I think people, this is the forefront of people's
Mm-hmm.
minds right now. So I think a lot of us are kind of chomping at the bit, really going to be connecting with Rolly up at Bridging the Gap
Yep.
to
Yep.
in Hallaberry, to start up and get out there with the regards to the live blood analysis and nutritional consults and
Yeah.
different
Same
things
with
like
the
that. And
thermography. We had a good list of people that were interested, and then snow, and then COVID, and then oh my gosh, I think I've
yeah,
rescheduled 3 times now. So and then North Bay as well. I've had a few calls from North Bay, so that'll be great to get that started. And I know everyone in Ottawa area has just been. We've had to postpone that twice. And so we'll see. I'm ramped up, I think, for the end of June if all launches go well, and we'll see about that. So that's something I need to start talking about. But in Sudbury area, yeah, it's really hard.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm yeah, lots of things in the works and planning behind the scenes to get things rolling, as quickly as possible, but with very much 1,000% precautions, and
Mm-hmm,
keeping
mm-hmm,
it safe for
mm-hmm.
everybody. Not that in our world we're not, but at the same time now people are very much, as well as wanting to be healthy, we're really that's at our forefront of making sure everything is sanitized, and all that fun stuff. But yeah, kind of really getting excited to start getting out there again. It's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Actually working with people again.
I know exactly, right? Like, yeah, yep,
Yes.
yep. And yeah, and to protect our loved ones who have compromised immune systems, how is that going to work? Will they still have designated times? Will they still have the opportunity for people to still pick up, maybe in a better, bigger threshold of things? Um, and then how is that logistically going to work?
Yeah. It's a brave new world we're going into right now.
Amen to that. Yes, it is. Well, Wendy, you have an incredible, incredible day today. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. There was quite a few people on my little chat here and talking away. And as soon as I had mentioned Michelle Roy, oh, all the comments, all the tags, all the people. So for
Right.
sure. And we've both posted about small business and about home business, copy it, paste it, add it to yours, promote your friends who have home businesses or even who have online businesses, to keep that momentum going, not only, and even local business, right? Like
Yes, yes.
people who are going to be ramped up soon, people who are just needing to say, hey, when are you doing those things? So promote local, promote on Canada or Ontario, promote your own business, and just be able to offer, you know, something you need to do. And now with the moms staying home because there's no school till next year now, that'll be
Was that officially said yesterday? It
yeah.
was, because my
School goes on.
yeah,
The teachers still continue to teach
yeah, of
online.
course, yeah. But they're not opening the schools back up to the okay. No, it's I have little grandkids, granddaughters that are kind of caught in that right now, and wasn't quite sure if they were going to be heading back or not, or what the situation was. So
No, and I pray that each of the parents will be diligent in trying to get their kids
yes, oh yeah, most
do their
definitely.
work,
Yeah.
and because it's really hard. There's lots of parents that have just given up.
Oh really?
Yeah, they just are
Oh,
done fighting with their kids. It's
oh,
important. Education is
my
important as a
goodness. Yeah.
foundation. So,
Yeah, but
I
when you're 8 and
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You rather
I
play
mean,
on the video games or play outside, especially with
well,
weather and
exactly.
stuff
And I
like
think
that.
boundaries, as my lesson learned, boundaries are essential. And
Yeah.
putting your foot down and being the bad guy has to
And
happen.
structure, boundaries and structure. And you and I both know that a lot with regards to home-based businesses. We have to, you know, really, if we don't have that structure, we end up going through the day and not having anything done at all. And it just,
Exactly. Talk about structure. We're over an hour this morning, which I
Oh
think is
goodness.
great.
Okay, yes. Well, we'll let it go there.
Okay. Ciao.
Yeah.
Ciao. Talk to you later.
Take care. Take
Bye,
care.
everybody.